Hi everyone. So in this video, we will discuss a brief about different parts of the nervous system, and followed by we will discuss different pharmacological class of drugs which are involved in the nervous system. So let us talk about the nervous system. So nervous system is divided into two major parts: the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. So let me share my screen with you for one of the diagrammatic pictorial diagram which shows in a very beautiful way the the representation of different parts of central nervous system as well as peripheral nervous system. I mean the overall nervous system. So the nervous system is divided into two major parts: CNS and PNS, central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. And the CNS consists of brain and the spinal cord. So the brain, or our it's a body's control center. It's like a central processing unit. It's like a CPU for our, just like in computer we have CPU. It's similar thing we have here in our body, that is brain. And it processes the information and that makes decision and coordinates for action. And the spinal cord acts as a highway. It carries the messages from between the brain and the rest of the body part. So the peripheral nervous system, and apart from that, there is a peripheral nervous system that includes all the nerves that branch out of the brain as well as spinal cord, and they are further divided into two parts. One is this somatic and somatic system. One is this somatic nervous system, which controls the voluntary movement, and carries the sensory information, and the autonomic nervous system, which controls the which regulates the involuntary functions like heart rate or even digestion and breathing. The autonomic system is itself split into two major classifications. For example, number one is sympathetic system, which is often referred as fight and flight response, and the second is parasympathetic system, which is referred as rest and digest state. So at the cellular level, the nervous system is composed of specialized cells. For example, we already know about the neurons, and then there are many other different cell types, like microglia or even oligodendroglia, different glia cells, which are like the supporting cells of the neurons. And but neuron is the basic subunit of basic unit of a center of a nervous system. And these remarkable cells, they can transmit electrical as well as chemical signals at very high speed. And when a neuron fires, it releases neurotransmitter. They are like chemical messengers that carry signals across the synapse. It's like a synapse is a kind of junction between two different neurons to other neurons, or even they target the cells. So this intricate system allows us to perceive our environment, think, feel, emotion. We can have like emotional control in our body, and it is responsible for everything from our reflexes to our most complex thoughts and behavior. And the disorders in the nervous system that can have a wide range of effects. For example, it can have like Alzheimer's disease, even Parkinson's disease, and multiple sclerosis, many neurodegenerative diseases. So overall, this nervous system is a fascinating and complex network that plays a crucial role in every aspects of our life. And next, we will discuss about different pharmacological classes of drugs which act on the nervous system. So number one is antipsychotic drug. So these drugs are used to treat schizophrenia or even other psychotic disorders. They work primarily by blocking one of the receptor, which is often referred as dopamine or D2 receptor in the brain. And the first generation antipsychotics like haloperidol that can cause even extrapyramidal side effects, and the second generation antipsychotic such as risperidone. So anyway, we will not go in too much detail in this video. We'll make it brief because we are discussing only a gist of the pharmacology of nervous system. Next is antidepressant. So antidepressant, they are used to treat depression and anxiety disorder. The main classes, again, we'll discuss later in detail, but they are like selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors like fluoxetine, and then serotonin non-epinephrine reuptake inhibitors, tricyclic antidepressant. Then there is another class that is anxiolytic as well as sedative drugs. For example, benzodiazepine. They are like they commonly used for anxiety and insomnia, and they enhance the effect of GABA, which is a major inhibitory neurotransmitter in the brain, and they can cause even their dependence, and that they are generally recommended for short-term use. only. Next is general anesthetics. They are, for example, propofol or even say sevoflurane. They can induce reversible loss of consciousness, and they work by enhancing the inhibitory neurotransmitters, and they suppress the excitatory neurotransmission in the brain. So, and next is cholinergic drugs. So these drugs, they affect the parasympathetic nervous system, and the cholinergic agonists like pilocarpine, they mimic the action of acetylcholine. They are used in conditions like glaucoma, or even cholinergic antagonists such as atropine, and they can block the action of this acetylcholine. And they are used in conditions like motion sickness, or even they dilute the people for even eye exams. Next is adrenergic drugs. These drugs, they affect the sympathetic nervous system, and adrenergic agonists, they are like, for example, epinephrine. They mimic the action of norepinephrine and are used in emergency situation like anaphylaxis. Then next is neuromuscular blocking agents. These drugs, they such as rocuronium, and they block the transmission of the nerve impulse at the neuromuscular junction, and they are used in anesthesia to cause the muscle relaxation during the surgery. So it's important to note that many of these drugs, they can have significant side effects and even interaction. For example, combining certain antidepressants with the serotonergic drugs can lead to even serotonin syndrome, a potential life-threatening condition. So overall, this nervous system pharmacology is a vast and complex field, which we will discuss in detail later in the nervous system related drug mechanism. And the drugs which we have discussed here, they represent just a fraction of the medications available to treat the neurological as well as psychiatric conditions. So as our understanding of this nervous system grows, so too does even our ability to develop more target and effective treatments. So I hope you like this video, and if you like it, please like, share, and subscribe this channel. And please, if you have any question, please put it in the comment. I'll surely get back to you. Thank you.